Hi everyone. My name is Yvonne Homonchik. I am in Amazon's global selling team based in Sydney. Welcome to the first webinar of our 8-part series. When sellers learn about my role, one of their first questions is, how do I get started selling on Amazon? Good news is that this webinar series is going to help to answer all your questions and empower businesses like yourself to prepare for a successful launch on Amazon.com and Amazon.com.au. In today's webinar, which again is the first of our 8-part series, we'll be looking at things to know before registering, Amazon basics, learning how to navigate Seller Central, and where to get additional support. I'll also have some time at the end to answer any questions that you might have. Now, to give you a zoomed out view of Amazon's global presence, Amazon has 16 dedicated stores across various countries and a base of hundreds of millions of active customer accounts worldwide. 50% of all units sold worldwide are from third-party sellers, just like you. In Australia, over 6,500 sellers sold more than 25 million products globally in our stores. And in the US, selling partners sell a whopping 7,400 products per minute. And on average, selling partners made $200,000 in annual sales between September 2020 and August 2021. So in a world where e-commerce has seen massive growth in the last 2 years, it's the right time to be taking advantage of, firstly, putting your business online, and secondly, doing that via Amazon. Amazon has made global expansion more accessible and less costly for businesses, so definitely take advantage of this. When you register for an Amazon selling account, Amazon automatically creates merged accounts that give you access to North American stores, European stores, Japan, Singapore, and of course, Australia. This unifies your selling experience across Amazon's international stores and lets you more easily manage and scale your business. A frequent question that Amazon receives during account registration is, do I have to sell in all of these stores? The answer is no. Even though you will have an account in each of the 13 stores, you can select the specific stores that you want to sell in for each product that you offer. You're not required to list all products in all stores. The main advantage of this is that if you want to list a product in a store for which you have a merged account already, you won't be required to go through the entire registration process again. I will touch on global selling fees a bit later on in this seminar. So, is there anything you should know before registering with Amazon? There absolutely is. That's why you're here. So before signing up to sell with Amazon, you'll want to have some important information handy. You'll need your bank account and BSB number, as well as a chargeable credit card. You should also have government-issued ID, a utility bill, and tax information ready. Also be prepared to provide your phone number. When preparing for seller identity verification, be sure to use clear images of your ID. You may be requested to re-upload it if the information can't be read clearly. If bank account information is requested and you decide to provide a bank statement, be sure to include all pages of the document. Your statement or utility bill needs to be dated within the last 90 days, so pay close attention to the date of the document that you provide. I also really want to draw your attention to the name and address on your documents matching the information that you've provided to Amazon during registration. The name of the company or point of contact mentioned on the statement should either match the business name or point of contact name and address provided during registration. Please see the links in the chat for a more detailed overview of what is required for seller identity verification. This is a super important step to get right the first time, so please take the time to do this. Now, when you're signing up, you'll want to decide which selling plan makes sense for you, individual or professional. The individual plan costs 99 cents per sale, while a monthly subscription fee is charged for access to a professional selling plan, which we'll discuss the cost of on the next slide. Usually, an individual selling plan makes sense if you and your business sell fewer than 40 items a month. An individual plan can be a good fit if you're still deciding what to sell and don't need access to advanced selling tools or programs yet. You can also always upgrade later. Professional selling plans are a good choice if you sell more than 40 items a month. Professional selling plans also have access to APIs, more selling reports, and advertising options. To review more on individual versus professional selling plans, view the links that we are sharing in the chat box, which are links to the Selling on Amazon site, or you can also search Selling Plan Comparison directly in Seller Central. Now let's look at how much it costs to sell on Amazon. The monthly fees displayed here are for professional selling accounts only. So let's say that you're seller A and you're planning to sell into the United States via Amazon.com, in addition to Australia. You will pay a discounted professional selling fee of $39.99 USD per month. This is charged upon account creation and monthly thereafter, provided that you have at least one buyable ASIN, which means a live product available for sale, listed in any store on the billing date. When you're selling across both the US and Australia, please note that the fee will be split across the currency of those local stores, but it will still add up to $39.99 USD. If you're seller B and selling just on Amazon US, you will pay a professional selling fee of $39.99 USD per month. So it's the same one that seller A will pay. And if you're seller C and selling just on Amazon AU, you will pay a professional selling fee of $49.95 AUD per month. Please do also note that each of those quoted prices do exclude GST or taxes. There are a couple of other fees that you also do need to be mindful of. So in addition to your monthly professional selling fee, you'll also pay a referral fee on each item sold. Referral fees can vary from 6 to 15%. I encourage you to check the referral fee pages on Seller Central to identify the referral fee for your category. If you decide to engage Fulfillment by Amazon or FBA to fulfill your local customer orders in another country, you'll also pay storage and fulfillment fees. Again, I encourage you to check the FBA fees table on the relevant Selling on Amazon website. And a quick note on this last slide, that your monthly professional selling plan fee can vary depending on whether or not your accounts are merged. If you're new to Amazon, don't worry, your accounts are automatically merged. If you are already selling on Amazon though, and you have not merged your accounts, meaning that you've got separate accounts for different countries, you will still continue to pay the full subscription fee in each country or region in the case of North America and Europe. To understand a bit more about merged accounts, we will share 2 links that are available on the Australian Selling on Amazon website that you can use to learn more. So we will share the monthly subscription fee, frequently asked questions, as well as merging accounts. So if you're feeling confused about any of that, just jump into those links and read up. Okay, so if you already have an existing account with Amazon, you can access other global stores without needing to register for a new account. You can add global stores in Seller Central by clicking on Inventory and Sell Globally, and then selecting the store that you would like to sell on. You can then use the Marketplace Switcher function at the top of the screen to switch between the various Amazon stores you are selling in. Now, this means that they're all operated through a single sign-on, which is great. To finalize your account setup, you'll need to head to your Seller Central and ensure that you're in the correct country page. If not, select the box next to your brand name and switch to the country that you need. From here, you'll see a red box in your dashboard that requires you to submit tax identity information before you can start selling. If you're selling on amazon.com.au, you'll need to confirm your business structure, that is, confirm whether you're an individual or a business, and submit your ABN if relevant. If you're selling on Amazon.com, you'll need to do the same first step as selling on Amazon.com.au. And then if this answer is true, select no when asked if you're a US resident. And you'll then be prompted to complete the auto-generated form W8BEN, which will exempt you from US tax reporting. On that note, I will also add that we always encourage that you seek independent tax advice to confirm the impact that selling in the US or anywhere else overseas may have on your business from a tax perspective. Okay, so once you start selling, how will you actually get paid? The statement view in your payments dashboard will show you when and how much you will be paid. We do update this information automatically so that it always shows up on the payment report. Once it's initiated, payments will go through an automated clearinghouse and can take up to 5 days for processing before appearing in your account. You can find the amount you'll receive and the date that you'll be paid by selecting Payments under the Reports tab in Seller Central. That's Payments under the Reports tab. Okay, so now that you're aware of what information is needed for seller identity verification, let's get started with some Amazon basics. Let's start with learning about Amazon listings and how they work. There are two important aspects of every Amazon listing. You have the product detail page and the offer. The product detail page is the page that shoppers see when they click on a product and where they can add it to their cart. Each product sold in the Amazon store has its own product detail page, even if it's sold by multiple sellers. The seller that creates the listing first generally has primary ownership of the listing, unless a listing is created for a branded product by someone that isn't the brand owner, and the brand owner later links that product to their brand through a program called Amazon Brand Registry. We will go into more detail on what Brand Registry is and how it works in our Getting Set Up webinar. That's also part of our webinar series. The other important aspect of your listing is your offer. I'll touch on this very soon. So first, let's break down the anatomy of a product detail page. First, you have the product title. We have an example of how best to structure your product title shown on the screen. On the left-hand side of the page, you can find product photos and videos if you're eligible to upload those, and that is available to brand owners. And your main image should be against a white background. Next up, you can see bullet points. This is where you can call out your most important product information. This might include dimensions, materials, features, and compatibility. Beneath this, you can find the product description. This is the part where you can dive into the feel, usage, and benefits of your product. Lastly, on the right-hand side of the page, we'll find the offers available on this product, which detail the price and delivery options available for each offer if there are more than one. Most products will have what we call a featured offer. This is a single offer from one seller given prominent placement with add to cart and buy now buttons. The offer that Amazon puts here is determined by what Amazon determines to be the best offer for the customer, and it considers 3 factors when doing so. The first is seller rating, the second is price, and the third is the delivery option provided to the customer. I really encourage you to learn more about this as it's a really important part of selling on Amazon. So to learn more, what you can do is type featured offer into Amazon Seller Central Help. Now, remember how I said that each product has its own detail page and that multiple sellers can have offers on the same detail page? You might be wondering how this is possible. Well, it's possible through each product's product ID being uploaded into Amazon systems when you're creating your listing. So what is a product ID? Product IDs are part of a universal system called GTINs, or Global Trade Identification Numbers. They take the form of UPCs, EANs, JANs, and ISBNs. So GTINs ensure that products are uniquely identified while being bought and sold, and they help to sort and track items in transit. In most instances, you'll need to provide a GTIN when you create a new product detail page on Amazon, or to link your product offer to an existing listing if that item is already being sold. If you have GTINs already, great. If you don't, you can buy barcodes from the GS1 website, which we've shared on the slide there. So the barcodes that you buy will identify your company as the brand owner of that product. A key tip is to be sure to purchase as many barcodes as you have products. So for example, if I sell a t-shirt and it comes in 4 different sizes, each of those will require one unique GTIN each. And a quick note as well is that you may be able to apply to sell your product without a product ID by getting a GTIN exemption through Amazon. To learn more about this, you can just type in GTIN exemption into the Seller Central search bar, and you can read what the requirements are in order to apply for that. The key one is that you do need to own your product, so you need to be the brand owner. I will also share a link in the chat on how to list products that don't have a product ID, which is relevant to if you do end up getting a GTIN exemption. And where are we at now? So once you have your product IDs or a GTIN exemption ready, you're then ready to create your listing, which is very exciting. I will recommend that you watch our listings webinar for more detail on how to do this. Okay, so we've gone through the first 2 important components of Amazon listings, which are the product detail page and obtaining GTINs or a GTIN exemption. The last key component is the offer. This is the price point that you're offering your product for, as well as the shipping option that you have available to the customer. You are in control of what price point you set. Do some research on the price point of similar products to yours to determine the right price point for you. If you're a reseller and your product is already being sold on Amazon, check out what offers already exist for your product and make a pricing decision accordingly. So now that we've touched on creating your offer, the next key step is to consider your fulfillment options. In terms of shipping options, you have 2 available to you. You have Fulfillment by Amazon and Merchant Fulfillment, or MFN, and where FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. So with Fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon will pretty much take control of the inventory storage and entire order handling process for you. So I'll briefly take you through the steps of what Fulfillment by Amazon looks like. So you will send your stock to an Amazon fulfillment center. If you're selling on amazon.com.au, you would send your stock to a warehouse in Australia. If you're selling on Amazon US, you would send your stock to a warehouse or warehouses in in the USA. So once you've done that, Amazon will then store your inventory for you. Customers will then be able to place orders for your inventory. Your products will automatically become live and available for sale once they're scanned into the warehouse. Once an order is placed, Amazon will pick, pack, and ship your order. And we also, your FBA inventory will also have a Prime badge on it, which is awesome. So that means that Prime customers will receive your order for free. Now, if anything happens with the customer, including queries that they might have or returns or refunds, Amazon will handle most of that process for you. The only things that we will not handle is if your customer is inquiring about specifics about your product. Of course, we won't know those, so we'll leave those to you to answer, but anything to do with the shipping process or returns process, we will handle. So we pretty much take everything out of your hands once your products are up. Merchant fulfillment is where you will store your products in your own warehouse and you will be responsible for picking, packing, shipping to the customer once they place an order, and you'll also handle customer queries, returns, and refunds. So for more information on either Fulfillment by Amazon or Merchant Fulfillment, please search for either of these phrases in the Seller Central search bar, or you can also attend our upcoming Amazon Fulfillment webinar next fortnight. I will quickly just go through the fees that apply if you do choose to use Fulfillment by Amazon. So on the slide, you can see a breakdown of how the fees work. So you will pay a fulfillment fee, which is a flat fee per unit based on the product type, dimension, and weight, as well as an inventory storage fee. And that will be charged per cubic meter or foot as applies per month. You can find more on fulfillment and fulfillment fees on the local Selling on Amazon site of the country that you wish to sell in, or on Seller Central. We'll share some links for where you can learn more about Fulfillment by Amazon for either Amazon AU or Amazon US in the chat. Okay, so now that you understand what information you need to complete at your detail page, you can obtain your product IDs or your GTN exemption. You can set pricing and fulfillment options. What are the basics that you need to know next in order to navigate Seller Central? Well, to help you get started, you can learn more about Amazon and how to navigate Seller Central via Seller University. This is a free tool that you have access to that contains instructional videos both via the Amazon platform and also YouTube. Seller University covers the end-to-end seller experience. So it's got guidance on listing, to how to set up Fulfillment by Amazon, to how to launch an advertising campaign. So if you need any more information at all after this session, Seller University is a really important resource to keep in mind. Remember that you can also search for more information within Seller Central. Just look up your question in the search bar at the top of your Seller Central page and scroll through the drop-down menu to find the right article for you. The information here in Seller Central is also localized to the global store that you're searching in. So make sure that you search within the relevant store. Okay, now once you've reviewed Seller University and Seller Central, the last thing that I encourage you to know is where to find and seek additional support. The first place that I recommend that you look is the Seller Central Provider Network. The Seller Central Provider Network is a directory of third-party experts, aka service providers, offering paid services to support businesses selling on Amazon. You can access this via Seller Central via the navigation shown on the screen, or by typing Seller Central Provider Network into the help bar. For convenience, I've also shared the link in the chat. So in this network, there are 16 categories you can access services within. I've detailed our 12 most popular categories for Aussie and New Zealand businesses here. The most common services are storage, international shipping, compliance, and listing. It's important to note that the Seller Central Provider Network is purely an informational resource to help connect you with external providers. It's been built to help you find established businesses with extensive experience in supporting Amazon selling partners. If you do decide to retain third-party services through the network, you will be contracting directly with the provider who will be providing services to you at your direction. Amazon doesn't endorse one provider over another. Lastly, if you still require further support, you do have two more options. So first of all, you can seek further support on technical issues or any inquiries about selling on Amazon via the seller support team. You can contact seller support in Seller Central by going into help and then following the prompts until you click on get support. You can also join our future webinars to learn more about getting set up and optimizing your Amazon business. You can register for our next event or revisit previous sessions. I've put the link to our selling partner webinars and events page just in the chat for you. Okay, if you'd like to hear more information on setting up your Amazon selling account, please register for our next webinar.